As I sat with my father one day not long before he died, realizing he seemed to be fully aware, but unaware of me or of anyone else passing through the room, this startling thought came to me. He doesn't need us anymore. He was strongly focused on something, it seemed, but not on us. Like Phineas's wife in the Samuel story, who does not answer or pay attention, he had, in some way, already left us. There remained many moments of connection, affection, and preparation before he died, but the sense that his face was already set toward Jerusalem and that we were receding into his peripheral vision remained. Of course there were needs. He needed to be resituated in bed. He needed a little water now and then. He needed to hear my mother's voice, and I like to think he needed and wanted to hear the Psalms we read as he lay half asleep. But already he was beyond our human help. To say that is to recall not despair, but the simple clarity of that moment when the common assurance, "He's in God's hands," struck me as simply, utterly, observably true. There is great pathos in the story of Phineas's wife, who dies in fresh grief over the loss of her father-in-law and husband, even as she endures the pains of childbirth. Part of that pathos lies in the futile efforts of the midwives to revive her into rejoicing over her newborn son. Even the greatest human joys and sorrows recede into irrelevancy, as they must, as the dying are guided toward a different light and a different life. Toward the very end of my mother's long life, I found her decreasing interest in grandchildren and great-grandchildren painful at first, and then instructive. She had a spacious, loving heart for all of us. She had taken due and natural delight in our babies and their babies, holding and rocking and reading and laughing, as grandmothers do, making special pancakes for their visits and keeping a costume box in the closet for the pleasure of little girls. But as death approached, her inquiries about those beloved granddaughters and their families became perfunctory, and her attention wandered as I eagerly reported that Stephen was learning to ride a bike, that Matthew had said a sentence, that Tommy's parents were playing him Mozart, all the sweet small bits of news she had once reveled in. But she had work to do that required all that was left of her earthly energies. Her quiet preoccupation reminded me of Jesus' words to his mother, who finds him in the temple after seeking him frantically for 3 days. "Know you not that I must be about my Father's business?" The question challenges her and us to recognize the contingent character of even the most intimate human relationships. My work here isn't finally about you. I'm here on a mission, as you are, that requires and deserves my full attention. It's natural for us to try to re-engage our dying family folk in the life they're leaving by reminding them of memories and showing them pictures, assuming they want to reminisce, and many do, up to a point. But when that point is past, tugging at them may be a distraction from the arduous, demanding, and perhaps, who knows, exhilarating business of turning inward and heavenward, listening hard for the comforts and summonings that come from elsewhere, and leaving us behind. The instruction I received from my mother's curious indifference was simple: let her go where she needs to go. Much of her story had to do with us. This part of it didn't. Day after day she prayed for us when we lived far away, releasing us into lives that for long stretches had little to do with her. Now it was our turn to do the same across the increasing distance between us, releasing her to those who awaited her, and renewing our own consent to the work that remained for us here. May we let go when the time comes. May we wait and trust as long as parting takes. May we be present without demands. May we put all we love in God's hands. May we let ourselves be blessed even in loss. May we be open to peace that passes all understanding and eases our anguish and keeps our hearts open. Amen.